A CEO secretly followed a single dad who was also a janitor at his office building after work one day and discovered that he had made a huge mistake. He looked out the window and saw this young man struggling to carry all of these boxes down the stairs. So he called up security and asked them to follow the man. They did so, and they found him putting all the boxes in the back of his car. The CEO was curious, so he decided to check the security footage to see where the man went after he put all those boxes in his car. It turned out that this man wasn't doing anything illegal or stealing from his company. In fact, he was a single dad trying to make an honest living. The CEO felt terrible about himself for spying on this man. He decided that he wanted to make things right by giving this man a big raise. But then he saw something that made him change his mind. Let's see how this story ends. Before we continue, please take some time to subscribe to my channel, the bell icon, and be sure to leave a comment below. Oh, I can't wait to see what you guys have to say about this story. And now let's get started. Michael was a hardworking man who always did his best at work. He was a janitor at a large office building. Despite the fact that most people didn't even acknowledge his presence, Michael took pride in his job. He knew that without him, the building would quickly descend into chaos. That's why he always worked hard to keep it clean and orderly. He was especially proud of the gleaming floors, which he polished to a mirror shine every day. But unfortunately, not everyone appreciated his hard work. One day, Michael was carrying boxes downstairs when he noticed someone staring at him. He looked up and saw the CEO of the company whose office was located in that building. Michael couldn't help but feel a surge of resentment towards the man. Ever since he had become CEO, he had cut down on staff and reduced their hours, all while increasing his own salary. Michael had heard rumors that the CEO was planning to outsource his position, and he knew that if that happened, he wouldn't be able to support his daughter, Emma. This thought filled him with dread, and he wished he could do something to stop it. But alas, he was just a lowly janitor, and there was little he could do. As Michael continued his work, he couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching him. He tried to focus on the task at hand, but it was difficult with the CEO's eyes boring into his back. Finally, Michael finished his rounds and headed home for the night. Little did he know that his life was about to change in ways he never imagined. The next day, Michael was surprised to find a brand new key card in his mailbox. He knew that only the CEO had access to the card, which allowed entry to restricted areas of the building. What could the CEO possibly want with him? As Michael pondered this question, he decided to investigate. He scanned the card and entered the restricted area, where he discovered a small office filled with surveillance equipment. It was clear that the CEO had been watching him, but why? As Michael continued his investigation, he found a hidden camera in the ceiling. He couldn't believe that the CEO had been spying on him. What was the man's motive? Was he planning to fire him? As Michael pondered this question, he heard a knock at the door, quickly hid the camera, and hoped that whoever was coming wouldn't find it. The door opened and a man walked in. It was the CEO. "I need to ask you something," he said. "Why were you carrying those boxes downstairs yesterday?" Michael was taken aback. Did the CEO know about the hidden camera? Was he testing him? "I was just doing my job," Michael replied cautiously. The CEO looked at him for a moment before speaking again. "I saw you on the security cameras. I want you to tell me the truth." Michael hesitated, unsure of what to say. Should he confess that he had found the camera? Or should he play along and hope that the CEO didn't press further? Meanwhile, the CEO was growing impatient. He had watched the security footage of Michael and had seen him carrying the boxes downstairs. But when he checked the footage from the parking lot, he saw that Michael had loaded the boxes into his car. Curious, he had sent his team to follow Michael, and they had discovered the hidden camera in his apartment. Now, he was determined to get to the bottom of this mystery. "Are you hiding something from me?" he asked, his voice low and dangerous. Michael knew that he couldn't lie to the CEO any longer. He had to come clean. Taking a deep breath, he confessed that he had found the hidden camera in his apartment. The CEO was stunned. He had no idea that Michael had discovered the camera. "I'm sorry," he said. "I didn't mean for this to happen. I'll have it removed immediately." Michael shook his head. "No, you don't understand. I don't want your cameras watching me. I just want to live my life in peace." The CEO realized that he had made a huge mistake. He had hired a private investigator to follow Michael, but he had failed to inform him of his true intentions. Not only that, but he had also spied on Michael's apartment without his knowledge or consent. He knew that he had to make things right, but he wasn't sure how. As the CEO struggled to come up with a solution, Michael spoke up. "I want a public apology from you," he said. "I want you to tell everyone that you were spying on me and why you were doing it." The CEO was taken aback. He hadn't expected Michael to make such a bold request, but he knew that it was the least he could do. He agreed to Michael's terms, and the two men shook hands. The CEO kept his word and issued a public apology to Michael, explaining that he had been concerned about his well-being, and had hired a private investigator to check up on him. He also apologized for spying on his apartment and promised to make changes to ensure that it would never happen again. In the wake of the scandal, the CEO's reputation was tarnished and his company's stock price plummeted. But amidst all the chaos, Michael was offered a promotion and a significant pay raise. He was finally being recognized for his hard work and dedication. But despite the positive developments in his career, Michael couldn't shake the feeling that something was missing. He had always put his work first, sacrificing time with his daughter in order to make more money. But now that he was making good money, he realized that he had missed out on some of the most important moments in Emma's life. Determined to make up for lost time, he began spending more time with her, taking her to the movies and amusement parks. He also enrolled her in extracurricular activities and made sure to attend all of her school events. Michael was determined to be the best father he could be. Years passed and Emma grew up into a beautiful young woman. She had a great relationship with her father and knew that he loved her more than anything else in the world. As she got older, however, she began to notice that her father was often overworked and exhausted. He would come home from work late and spend most of his time in his room. Concerned about her father's well-being, Emma decided to investigate. She had no idea that her father was harboring a secret that could change their lives forever. One day, while going through her father's things, Emma stumbled upon a hidden box. Curiosity got the better of her, and she opened it to find stacks of cash, a gun, and a passport. Shocked by what she had found, she confronted her father, demanding answers. Michael was taken aback by his daughter's question. He had never told her about the money, the gun, or the passport, and he wasn't sure how to go about it. But he knew that he couldn't hide the truth from her any longer, so he sat her down and explained everything. He told her about the CEO's plot to kill him, the insurance money, and the new life he had planned for her if he had died. Emma was shocked. She couldn't believe that someone would want her father dead, and she was furious that he had kept this secret from her for so long. But she knew that her father had done it to protect her, and she forgave him. In the end, the CEO's plot was foiled, and he was brought to justice. Michael and Emma were left shaken, but unharmed, and they were grateful to have each other. They knew that no amount of money or power could ever replace the bond they shared. And as they moved forward with their lives, they vowed to cherish every moment they had together. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next story.